Good morning, my dear student. This is Preeti Mukherjee. Welcome to the online class of Shriram Public School. So, in last few days, we are discussing on the chapter 14, and the name of this chapter is Coming of the British and the Revolt of the 1857. So, today's topic is After the Battle of Boxer. So, in previous class, we have discussed on the Battle of Plassey and the impact of the Battle of Plassey, and after that we were discussing on the Battle of Boxer also, and the impact of the Battle of Boxer. So today we are going to discuss on the after the Battle of Boxer, what happened next. So let's first, you can see here the first point is divide and rule. So this is a very important policy. Okay, so we already discussed it in the previous video in previous class, but today I'm repeating it once again because it's very important. You have to understand it. Okay, so listen it very carefully. First of all, the British East India Company, when they came into the India, they tried to control all over the India. And the Battle of Plassey was the first step to control all over the India. When after the Shah Jahan defeated, after the Sirajdaulah defeated, the British East India Company captured the Bengal, okay, and they control all over the Bengal. And the first policy they applied, that is divide and rule policy. What was it? It was the rule. What kind of rule it is? The kings and the nawabs of the small kingdom, okay, in India always fought among themselves. Means the king means the Raja and the Nawabs of some small kingdom, छोटे छोटे साम्राज्य का जो राजा था, सब छोटे छोटे साम्राज्यों का जो राजा था, सब मिलकर एक साथ मिलकर हमेशा लड़ाई करते थे. तो they always fought among themselves, and the British helped one ruler. The British helped only one ruler against the others and gain power and wealth also. This policy of the British was known as divide and rule policy. Okay, I'm repeat it once again. The king and the nawab of small kingdom, raja and छोटे छोटे साम्राज्य का जो राजा थे in the India, always fought each other, always fought among themselves, and the British helped, but the British helped only one ruler against the others. Okay, and gain power and wealth. Wealth means dhan sampatti. So they gain power and wealth. This policy of the British was known as divide and rule policy. Okay, and we know that the battle took place, means the battle of Buxar. When the battle of Buxar took place, the battle of Buxar took place in 1764, and when the battle of Plassey took place, this is your homework. Okay, so the battle of Buxar took place in 1764. Between the combine of the Mughal Empire named Shah Alam II and the two Nawabs with whom? With the British. Okay, so the battle of the Buxar took place 1764 between combine of Mughal Emperor named Shah Alam II and two Nawabs with the British. Okay, and what happened? British emerged victorious. So ब्रिटिश जीत गए. Okay, so this is the uh, this is the this is the main policies and this is the main story when the battle of Boxer occurred. Okay, I hope all of you can understand that divide and rule policy, and after that the battle of Boxer occurred, and then the British emerged victorious. Okay, next, what happened next? The battle. This is our topic. Today's topic was what I have said, that today's topic is the after the battle of Boxer. So now what happened next? Two important policy the British East India Company applied on the Bengal. So what are the two important policy? First point you can see here, the doctrine of lapse. Doctrine of lapse. Doctrine of lapse. What is it? It was introduced. It was introduced by the Lord Dalhousie. The doctrine of lapse policy was introduced by Lord Dalhousie. You cannot find this information in your textbook, but I'm telling you that this doctrine of lapse was introduced by the Lord Dalhousie. Okay, and what is the policy? And what was the policy? The policy was the British declared. क्या declare किया था? The British declared that if a king died without the natural heir, his kingdom would be taken over the British. This policy was called doctrine of lapse. Means when a king means एक राजा जब उसका कोई नेचुरल हायर नहीं रहेगा, नेचुरल हायर मीन्स वी कैन सी ना दैट आफ्टर द डेथ ऑफ वन किंग द हिज सन came to his throne, means his son became the king again, and after that when he died, his son was came to the throne. It is, we know that, but when जब कोई एक राजा का बेटा, और मतलब कोई भी बेटा अगर नहीं रहे कि मर जाने के बाद सिंहासन में आके बैठे, ऐसा अगर कोई नहीं रहा, तो that kingdom means his kingdom would be taken over the British. That kingdom would be taken over the British. Okay, विच किंगडम मीन्स जिस राजा के पास नेचुरल हायर नहीं है, नेचुरल मतलब उसका बेटा कोई भी ऐसा नहीं है कि वो मर जाने के बाद उसके सिंहासन में कोई और मतलब उसका बेटा आकर बैठे, ऐसा अगर नहीं रहा, ऐसा परिवार अगर नहीं रहा, हो ही सकता है ना कि कोई सन नहीं है जो सिंहासन में आके बैठे, तो that kingdom or his kingdom would be taken over the British. This policy was called doctrine of lapse. And who was introduced? It was introduced by the Lord Dalhousie. Okay, and then next another important alliance or another important policy was subsidiary alliance. This is also an important, I mean very important policy. Now it was introduced by the Lord Dalhousie. Sorry, Lord Wellesley. It was introduced by the Lord Wellesley. The doctrine of lapse was introduced by the Lord Dalhousie, and this subsidiary alliance was introduced by the Lord Wellesley. Who was he? He was the Governor General of India. He was the Governor General of India. According to this policy, इस policy में है क्या? What about this policy? That according to this policy, Indian ruler under British protections, okay, had to maintain British troops within their kingdom. These gave the British control over the affairs of many kingdoms. So this is another policy that actually all these policies are tricks, okay, to control all over the India. That doctrine of lapse also, then the subsidiary alliance also, that it was introduced by the Lord Wellesley. And according to this policy में है क्या, according to this policy, Indian ruler under the British protections had to maintain the British troop within their kingdom. Okay, these gave the British control over the affairs of many kingdoms. Okay, so these two means subsidiary alliance and the doctrine of lapse. These two policies are so important, and you have to remember it. If you cannot understand, then you can message me personally. Okay. So after the Battle of Buxar, these two policies and these two policy applied, and in this way the British East India Company tried to control all over the Bengal and all over the India also. Not only the Bengal, all over the India also. Okay, so subsidiary alliance. Okay, and this is the Lord Dalhousie. He is Lord Dalhousie, and he introduced. Sorry, I make a mistake. Not the subsidiary alliance. Lord Dalhousie introduced the doctrine of lapse, isn't it? So I make this mistake. He introduced the doctrine of lapse. Okay, so no more today. Hope all of you can understand what I'm trying to say today. And let's recap it once again, that after the Battle of Boxers, two policies was applied on the Indians, and one policy's name is doctrine of lapse and another policy's name is subsidiary alliance. So the doctrine of lapse was introduced by this man, means the Lord Dalhousie, and the subsidiary alliance was introduced by the Lord Wellesley. And these two policies are these two policies were the tricks to control all over the India. Okay, so no more today. We will discuss the another interesting topic in the next class, and the topic name is the maybe and tomorrow we will discuss, or next video we will discuss on the exploitation of the Indias by the British, and it would be the another interesting video. So keep watching till that. Stay safe and stay home. Bye.